Valve's Index
All right.
virtual reality headset was and remained the best VR headset for some time, but always had a fatal flaw. Anthony is the one who prepared this topic for us, the cable. And it's true. After you have tried wireless VR, whether it's on the Vive Pro or whether it's on the Quest 2, going back to the cable really does feel like it's like going from your first flat panel, and I mean like a good one, not the early days ones, which really sucked, like awful TN panels. I mean going from like a flat panel monitor back to a CRT. And okay, CRT enthusiasts, yeah, yes, I do understand about input lag and all of that stuff and black levels and everything. But I think we can all agree that a modern flat panel, unless you are specifically trying to experience vintage content the way it was when you were a kid, are a lot better than CRTs. Okay, so it's like trying to go back to that. It's like going back to a phone that doesn't run Android or iOS. You know, like running an old BlackBerry with the full keyboard at the bottom with the wheel on the side to go through menus. Okay, like no touch screen. Like it's jarring. So Valve may have a solution.
Type out Ubuntu. I made it Ubuntu.
Oh, did you spell it wrong?
I want Ubuntu. I want Ubuntu Linux.
Darn it, Luke. Can you link me, by the way, in Discord to the
I'm
results?
not remaking it,
All right.
guys. I'm
So Deckard
Give me one sec.
appears to be Valve's upcoming standalone headset and was discovered by VR YouTuber Brad Lynch. Username sadly it's Bradley. Brad has been tracking Valve's patent applications and got a tip about a device codenamed Deckard. After digging into recent Steam VR updates, the string Deckard has shown up. So there's also a new, you know what? This is almost an entirely separate news topic. Because not because it's like particularly noteworthy, but I really hope we can change it. Steam game updates, no rollback. Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit later. This is like quietly flying under the radar, and I'm super off about it. Okay. There's also a new internal menu that mentions a standalone system layer. So together it seems to point to Deckard being a standalone device. Brad live streamed other evidence he's found in Valve's repositories and patents and says he believes Valve will make an official announcement within 6 months. It's worth noting that this is the same kind of detective work that accurately predicted the Steam Deck, although we didn't know what it was going to be called. They've been rumored to be working on something like this for a couple of years now, and there is significant user demand for an index without a wire. Personally, I'd love it if we just got like WiGig wireless display technology on the index, but I can understand why Valve might not be happy with the performance compromises that they would have to make either to the display's resolution or refresh rate or to the I guess the compression that they would need in order to fit within the bandwidth that you can achieve with a modern wireless interface. Multiple standalone VR concepts have apparently been tried at Valve, but The Verge may have uncovered some additional detail while previewing the Steam Deck. Greg Coomer mentioned that the Steam Deck's APU would run well in that environment and that it's very relevant to us and our future plans. How interesting would that be? A Steam Deck bolted to your face. Whoa! This is an Anthony Young observation. Deckard could be read as Deck-Ard, which could mean deck, augmented or artificial reality device. And that's exactly the kind of pun slash play on
Yeah.
words
Yeah.
that I would expect from a bunch of giant nerds like all of the folks I met at Valve. By the way, love you guys lots. You are my people, but you're giant nerds. So right now, the standalone VR headset market is pretty much the Quest 2. What would it take for Valve to penetrate that essentially monopoly on standalone VR devices? What does it take?
I don't think much. I mean, their previous VR device did extremely well. Like I don't know if it's even fair to say that they would have to penetrate that marketplace because they're already in like a it's like, how do I describe this? I feel like it's a gas car maker making an electric car. Like their foot's already extremely in the door, they're just not fully through the door frame. You know what I mean? Like it's not the same as like some random company that has never made it before trying to make a device. We already know that they've done a very good job making a VR headset. If they made a VR headset with that same pedigree wireless, I'd be super stoked.
But what about pricing? I mean, Valve is
That's
sending
true.
very
Yeah.
mixed messages on their hardware pricing.
Yeah.
Index is clearly priced to make
Premium.
money,
Yeah.
whereas Steam Deck,
It's not.
I'm not gonna cover this territory again, but Steam Deck is not. Steam Deck is aggressively priced. Valve is flexing their don't give a muscles by pricing Steam Deck the way that they are. Do they take that same approach with Deckard? I don't. I kind of can't understand why, unless part of this is just a volume play to get pricing down on some of the components that are shared between the two devices, like the custom APU that AMD is making for them. I mean, that getting AMD to fab you a custom chip is a non-trivial endeavor. The more devices you can ship with that thing, I almost wonder if the pricing would come down on their entire, or even just to meet the volume requirements. They might have started working on both of these devices to ensure that they could hoover up enough of these chips to even reach AMD's required quota for how many chips they're going to have to buy over some period of time. Because you got to remember, the tricky thing is not necessarily committing to AMD, oh, we'll take 10 million units. The tricky thing is actually selling 10 units, or 10 units, 10. The tricky thing is selling 10 million units of whatever the device you're making while that chip is still even remotely relevant.
Yeah.
Now Microsoft and Sony get around this by deciding when a new chip will become relevant by releasing a new console that uses it. So they effectively are able to dictate the terms in that relationship to a degree that Valve might be able to do. I think the Steam Deck's going to be a huge runaway success, but Valve may not have had the confidence at that time before the Steam Deck was revealed to the public, before our video showcasing it got, hold on, Steam Deck.
Valve often has confidence.
5 million views. Did they expect 5 million views on an early access video showing the thing? Not necessarily.
I don't know.
Because, I mean, because you're, okay, here, for some context, it's not like competing devices don't exist, like the Aya Neo, like devices from GPD. None of them have ever gotten 5 million views.
Don't get that much, yeah.
On anything. They do really well within a niche. So for Valve, it's not like they could have known for sure if they were going to be king of the niche or if they were going to penetrate the mainstream and really go after the people who otherwise are going to be stuck with whatever Nintendo decides to bestow upon them, or to keep pleading with Sony to eventually make a follow-up to the Vita. Like, they have no idea what this device is going to be until they actually deliver it. So I could see them conceivably saying, hey, look, we need to have as many possible things we can put these chips in, so we're not sitting on an entire warehouse full of 3 million APUs that nobody wants anymore. Because even Valve, a money printing machine, does not want to throw money. You don't want to use your money printing machine and, siphon off the output and just you put it into a furnace. You don't heat your house with money. You use the money to, I don't know, move to New Zealand where it's beautiful all year round and you don't need to heat your house. I mean,
that's rather topical, just in case you didn't know.
That's the whole. I do know. No, I
meant for other people. Sorry, you clearly did know, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. The whole moving to New Zealand when you're a billionaire thing is apparently a big thing right now, and like building bunkers and stuff, because good guy New Zealand just doesn't have anything of military strategic value whatsoever. So the idea is that in a nuclear holocaust, that's the safest place to be while still maintaining like a Western democracy standard of living that you are accustomed to in whatever country you are fleeing from. And apparently this is not conspiracy level crazy tinfoil hat stuff. This is like actually a thing. Like, it's not a coincidence Gabe Newell is in New Zealand.